A few years ago, one of my viewers recommended that I do a Death Valley Germans video. I didn't know what they were talking about. After researching it, I remembered hearing about the incident in 1996 and then again in 2009 when the Germans were found. This whole event was intriguing, so I decided I would make a video about the incident when I got the time. And I finally got the time. Planning, preparation, and time are mandatory for these videos. Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Did you find everything all right?
Yes.
And would you like a bag?
Yes, please.
And are you a member?
Yes. There's a lot that goes into making one of my videos. This one a little extra because of the hiking out to the middle of nowhere in a dangerous area that I've never been to before, don't know what to expect. I haven't heard anything good about the area other than if you go out there, be ready for it, take it serious, because they named that area Death Valley for a reason. I have to get my legs in shape for this hike. Bicycling is an excellent way to get my legs ready. So I just completed 23.5 miles on my mountain bike. Mountain bikes are heavy and slow. I think 23.5 miles on a mountain bike feels like about 42 to 45 miles on a road bike. And that's the last bit of exercise that I'm going to get in before I go do this hike. The thing about a mountain bike, every crank, 100% of it is on your quads, kind of like hiking. So I'm hoping I'll have enough strength in my legs to finish this probably 22 mile round trip hike out in Death Valley, going out to the locations where the Germans were found. Going to the Mojave Desert doesn't just happen spontaneous. There has to be a lot of preparation and planning. So you can see here, MREs, backpacks, one-man tents, water, pads, and a lot of preparation. And Jesse, he likes to break down his MREs by tearing them open and then taking out what he needs and leaving back what he does not need.
Is this like a dangerous trip you guys are doing?
Well, it's just I want you to know in case
In
you
case we have to
look for our
call
bodies.
the sheriff or
So,
something? Or the
Forrest is gonna film real quick. Stand
Rangers?
by.
Okay.
Look, we're dropping in. This is the geologist cabin, correct? Right?
That would be the area of the geologist cabin.
And then we're gonna hump it in from here.
Anvil
Take
Creek.
this trail, and this is where the bottle bush is gonna be at, somewhere in here.
And then we're going to cut across and go right into that area there. So Jesse's telling his wife where we're going to be in case something happens.
Just in case.
She knows where we're going to be. Isn't that right, Jessica?
Safety first.
Safety first.
Right?
She's like, yes.
Well, I'm really bad with directions, so I could give it to a ranger.
I also prepared printed copies of the original photos in order to help me find the locations a little easier.
What bag?
Has all my stuff in it.
What stuff?
Medicine. And then once their, I think it was a 50 cal or 240 ran out.
Here we are. We're all driving.
Here we are in beautiful
Riverside. We got Vail in the back seat. Now, Vail was in a 2012 Afghanistan documentary. I'm going to put a link in the description so you could watch him. Excellent depiction of what went on in Afghanistan between U.S. troops and the Afghanistan people they were trying to train. It gives an excellent insight into why Afghanistan fell so quick to the Taliban.
Absolutely.
Isn't that right, Jesse? I mean, Vail.
Yeah, you can see the writing on the wall. That's for sure. Anybody even as lower rank as I was when I was there, you could tell.
Weren't you an officer?
I was just a lowly captain.
He was the XO. He's being modest.
Vail, what do you think of your puppy towel?
I feel pretty unique that I'm the only one out of all three of us that got a puppy towel. Special one on the trip.
They knew. They knew.
We're jealous.
We called ahead. Yeah. Hey.
5:30 in the morning. We're ready to go, boys.
Good morning.
Ready to roll. Don't die on 3.
Sun is rising. There we go.
Excuse me while I take a picture while you're filming.
Where's Vail? There's Vail. Yep,
Hang on.
we're all here. So here I am at the turning point. They came from down there, Anapaw Canyon, and then down this road, which is a very, very rough road, in a Dodge Plymouth Voyager, and then made a right turn, headed up this way, and that's the direction we're going right now. So right here at the beginning of the road, it's very, very smooth, so I could see why they thought that they could make it, because it's not bad here at all. It's kind of like being on Mars. Can't believe they actually drove a 1996 Plymouth Voyager through this stuff right here. They actually have wild donkeys out here. Wild donkeys. Mama, Papa, and baby. They sure are pretty looking. So here I am where they signed the registry. They had to come up through here. And over to here. There it is. That one on the right.
They're one on the right.
10, 22, 21.
I'm not sure what to do with my hands.
Jesse doesn't know what to do with his hands when he's being filmed or photographed. Vail, he just goes statue mode. How did they ever make it through this in a Plymouth Voyager? That's what I'm wondering. But somehow they did. This is rugged. I can see the geologist cabin up in the distance up there. All I can tell you is that this road is absolutely brutal. I have no idea how they got a Plymouth Voyager van out here. I almost feel like turning around in my four-wheel drive that it's so rough out here. Making our way up to the geologist cabin. There's nobody in there. So they made it here.
Oh wow, this is cool.
And they took the American flag that was here as a souvenir. I'm certain they took it as a souvenir, but never made it out of here. Or at least never made it out of there. They went down this road you could see down Anvil Canyon over there. There's a cabin up there, and right here you have fresh water coming out of a pipe that's attached to an underground spring. So this water should be fresh and easily drinkable. So what we're going to do is we're going to go inside. We're going to have some food. Going to have an MRE before we drive down this road you can see behind me and get over to the mouth of Anvil Canyon, which is right about there, and start the hike. There's a lot more work that we have ahead of us, but right now, get some food in our bellies, drive down, and then start the hike. Jesse taking in some nutrients before we hit that road.
Jalapeno cheese spread.
What's that?
Jalapeno cheese spread.
That's the best.
It's, yeah, it really is.
Jalapeno cheese spread.
It's amazing.
So there's the geologist cabin. They probably went down that road, turned around and came back, and then headed east down this road. This is the direction they came in, and this is the direction they eventually went.
They might have been hoping this way was better than that way.
Yeah, they were probably hoping that this road was better and a shorter distance than the one they came in on. Because it's pretty nice right here. Here we are at the trailhead where the Germans came down from up there, down through here. There's this board here, it says foot traffic and horse only. Back in 1996, they went down this way, right through here. This was a semi-road, semi kind of a road. So we're walking down Anvil Canyon. It's really hard to tell where the road used to be. It's just a dry riverbed and sand and creosote bushes everywhere. So we think, or at least I think, this is where the road was that they went down in the van. We're just trudging along down Anvil Canyon. This is a foreboding place. So here I am at the location. You can see this is where the bush was. The left front tire was about here. The van was parked right in here. And if you look up, you can see the rock formations right up in here. But this is definitely the spot. They came down through here, probably blew their tires back there, or at least blew some of them back there, and came to a grinding halt right here where the bush used to be. It's all torn up, probably torn up by donkeys and weather erosion, but the van was definitely parked right in here. We're about 200 feet below where the van was, and this most likely was the path that all four of them took when they were trying to walk out of this canyon. This is some extremely rugged terrain, and we're going downhill right now. So coming out of this is going to be a lot of work, but this is what it's like. The camera doesn't really show it, but I assure you, this is extremely difficult terrain to hike through. This is no joke. There's wild donkeys all over this place. I wonder if the 4 German tourists saw donkeys when they were out here. This could be a serious problem. Jesse. Where is it? It's right here.
Danner.
Just got a flat tire. That's not good. That is not good.
It's all right. It's all right.
Tape and twine. That'll probably get us out of here. This boot, let's see how long this is gonna last. What do you think, Jesse?
I got 20 miles out of it.
20 miles on this boot. That's good. Okay, we'll see.
I'll take the under.
What are you gonna say, Jesse?
I'd just like to talk to those representatives of Danner Boots right now.
Say it louder.
I'd like to talk to those representatives of Danner Boots, possibly watching this channel. Really?
So Jesse's laying down by what we think is possibly the bottle bush. You can see the background right here. It was probably, the photo would have been taken from approximately here if this is the bush. If I zoom in a little, you can kind of see the background here lining up properly. I'm not sure, but I think you can see this big rock in the background in the photo. The bush was a little bushier. It was taken earlier in the morning, so the sunlight was coming from this direction. And can't say 100%, but it's very possible this is it. And over 25 years, rain, flash flooding changed the area at the base of it. So this is the photo that I used. You can see here, there's the bottle. This black arrow is pointing at it. I was looking for this V shape. I did find a bush with a V shape on Google Earth, which is the bush that you see in the video, although the V shape wasn't there in the video. I was also trying to line it up with this ridge in the background that you can see here. And that right there, I think it could be the rock that I pointed out, but not positive. I think that this rock right here is the rock that you can see in the photo behind it. The photo that was taken was probably taken from approximately back here, and whoever took it had to kind of kneel down like this so that you could see those ridges in the background right there behind the branch. And that old V shape that you see would have come out this way, but it's such a low grade picture, it's really hard to tell. But over 25 years, flash flooding and erosion has taken its toll, and you can see it's all filled in. But we're pretty sure, or at least there's a good possibility, that this was the actual bottle bush where they found the beer bottle, approximately right here. Making camp for the night. It's really dark out here. When we went to bed that night, we were discussing on whether or not we should go out to the location where the remains were found. We decided to sleep on it. And when we woke up in the morning, we realized we didn't have enough water to get all the way out there and back. So, we packed up and headed back to the car. Well, Vail, what do you think?
Fun, unique experience. Glad to be a part of it.
Easier than you thought, right?
These things. These will make it difficult and impede your movement. There's no set path.
And look, you can see them everywhere. They are all over out here.
You can follow the burrow paths, but you're going to weave and add about a mile to the distance.
Yeah, that's probably true, huh?
It is rugged out here. Very, very rugged.
Yeah, you're pioneering your own trail.
Those are actually all the bad hikers that came out here to do nefarious things, and just like in Pinocchio, they got turned into mules.
Got turned into mules for being mule heads. Well, we're heading out. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. And this is, once again, extremely rugged terrain. The picture doesn't do it justice, but trust me when I say very, very rugged out here. Jesse's blown out shoe being repaired again. I think it was a wise decision to head back because there's no way this shoe would have lasted for as far as we actually wanted to go.
Oh, I got plenty of 550.
Well, maybe it would have, but wisdom wins out. You know, if you're out here and you're ever alone and you're in trouble without any way of getting help, you may as well be on the moon.
Yeah.
There's just no way out. On the way out of the canyon, stopped by the van location. I have a photo here in my pocket. Might have Jesse hold it. If you can open up, see that photo there? So that's the photo they took 25 years ago when they found the van. And you can kind of see in the background right here, this slope and this ridge are, you can move it, that slope and that ridge right there. And if you look close, you'll see that rock formation. That's that rock formation right there. And the van is right here where Jesse's standing. Just made it back to the car. That was quite a hike. Everything they say about it, how difficult, or the difficulty level of it, it's all true. Extremely difficult. Jesse is driving us out of here. Jesse should have been a NASCAR driver. He's really good at this. I should have let him drive in. This road could not have been in this type of shape when the Germans came out in the Plymouth Voyager van. There's no way they would have made it out here. Of course, the plan was to come back in February, but Jesse and Vail couldn't make it. I decided I was going to come out by myself in February, but everybody I know decided to talk me out of it. They said it's not only dangerous, but it's stupid to go out to a location like that by yourself. And I was told that I should take at least one other person with me. I wasn't sure what to do, but in the meantime, I had to deal with the damage to my feet that the terrible hiking shoes that I bought caused. My two middle toes took a beating on that hike. I'm probably going to lose at least one, maybe both toenails. Here it is, almost 3 months later, and it looks like it's ready to fall off. I had to buy new shoes, so I did some research, and what I found was a shoe called Xero shoe, spelled Xero, and I put these things to the test, and I can tell you they passed with flying colors. My feet were so comfortable in these shoes that I had happy feet. fact, I like these shoes so much that I ended up buying a second pair because my feet are so incredibly comfortable in these shoes. I liked them so much that I started an affiliate with this shoe company, and there's a link in the description below. If you check them out and you like the shoes and you happen to buy a pair through the link in the description, then I get a small percentage of the sale, and that helps fund the channel. It helps support the channel. So if you're interested in possibly having happy feet like me, then go check out Zero Shoes. I highly recommend them. I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I thought I would have to wait till October or November of 2022 to go back out there. But in April, my son came out to California to do some work, and there was a small window of opportunity. I asked him if he would be interested in going, and he said he would love to because that type of thing is exactly what he enjoys doing. Stopped in Shoshone to top off my gas tank, and out here yep, over $7 a gallon. This is our parking space right there. So here I am, second attempt at trying to finish this video. Parked in the same place I did last time. Temperature feels comfortable. They say it's supposed to be 98 degrees here today, but it doesn't feel like it. And did not bring Vail or Jesse. Brought my son Simon. We're getting ready to go. I think we can make it this time, but I'm not sure. We won't know until we're done. Garmin has started. And the journey begins. Here we go. I will say this. I think my pack weighs about 65 pounds. This is very heavy. But we have about 6 hours to go 5 miles. So we have plenty of time. If it gets too heavy for me, I'm going to use my son as a pack horse to carry more weight. He's young, he's strong. Sure is desolate out here. As I stand here looking at the location where the van was found, which is right here, I can't help but realize that all 4 of them were hanging around this area here. And I just wonder, did they realize they were in trouble at that point? Or did they think everything would still be okay and they could get out of here just fine? Something we'll never know. We have an audience. No trails, just blazing your own trail over these rocks. Gotta watch your step carefully. Rolling your ankle or breaking an ankle out here would not be good. Okay, so we're stepping out of the riverbed now and we're going up this donkey trail, climbing this hill to get to where we need to go. I'm trying to film and walk over these rocks. This is not easy.
The donkeys make great trails. It's a good trail.
So we're on a donkey trail heading up over this hill. All right. We came from way back there, through all of this, and up this trail.
This one's a little more prominent.
Rocks everywhere. Buzzard. This terrain is making it slow going. No trail, just a bunch of rocks. So you gotta walk over the top of and try not to trip, fall, and hurt yourself. Now we have to go down here to get down there, to go up there, to end up over there. No trails. Just rocks. So we just came down that. We have to go up that to get to the other side. Sucked. It just completely sucked. Taking a little break. Probably hiked for several miles now and gotta head up that canyon and set camp there. And there's our donkey friends. Stuff like this for about the last 2 miles, maybe 2.5, 3 miles. The flowers are blooming in Death Valley. We're going up the gully or the valley here, getting closer to the place where we're going to set our camp, and the terrain did get better, thank God. Much easier to walk across this than it was those rocks that were like the planet Mars everywhere. Very difficult. This has not been an easy day. Tomorrow probably won't be any easier, but we will drink most of the water and it should be lighter, which will make it a little easier. This place, no joke, unforgiving. I do not recommend you come out here. To be honest with you, I can't wait till I'm done with this journey and back at the car driving home. But that's not going to happen until sometime, probably later tomorrow. So we're not quite halfway, but we're at least 1/3 of the way finished with this video. He's young, strong, outperforming me, and he has to wait for me. The son has to wait for his old dad. I think he feels sorry for me. So the car is parked way up there, back over in there somewhere. Came down, up the embankment behind this hill. We came around this edge here, hiked up to this area. This is where we are now, taking a break. I like to come out to these locations to get a realistic idea of what happened and what people may have gone through. And after coming out here and experiencing what I've experienced so far, there is absolutely no doubt in my mind that 4-year-old little Max walked all this distance. There is no way he walked this far. So that tells me he had to be carried a good portion of the way, which exhausted somebody. Maybe Egbert held him on his shoulders. Maybe Cornelia held him on her shoulders. But there's no way a 4-year-old could walk all this distance without being carried. So we came from over here, around, up this valley. We stopped and had a lunch, or a meal I should say, right down there. And now we're hiking this really steep hill that is much steeper than it looks when you're staring at it from a distance. But we're almost at the top. And then hopefully it gets a little easier after this. So we drove out of my house at about 6:08 this morning. It's 6:25. We've been out driving and hiking now for 12 hours. We actually started the hike about 12:30. So we've been hiking for about 6 hours. We're almost to the spot. We're going through a canyon right now. And I think we're probably a mile and a half, less than 2 miles from the turnaround point, the final destination of where they were found. Hiking across a bunch of rocks again. I like my new shoes. These things have been really good to my feet. I like them. Just when you think you're done going over a ridge, you find another one covered with rocks. We have to drop into this little gully here, hike out, and go over that ridge. Hopefully, the location we're going to is over there, and right over there, and we don't have to go up over any more ridges. But this is unbelievable. I find it, that family came through here. Whichever way they came through here, I'm impressed, because this is brutal. Absolutely brutal. There is nothing easy about getting out here. Being out here gives me a real experience of what they went through, and I can tell you right now, I'm impressed with how far they made it, and it's unbelievable. It really is. So we'll go up to that ridge, see what's on the other side. We found a bone. I don't think it's human, but just in case, I'm going to mark the coordinates and let somebody know. See what happens. I don't know what that is. I don't think it's human. Huh. We need a bone specialist out here. And we get over a ridge. It's not quite another ridge, but it kind of is. It's more of a flat plateau. So we're just going to keep heading this way until we can see the base of those hills there, because that's our turnaround point. That is the location we have worked so hard to get to. First trip, couldn't even get close to it. Didn't have enough water. Second trip, have plenty of water. And now we're just experiencing the true ruggedness of this place they call Death Valley. Very, very, very rugged. I know what you see through the picture may not look rugged, but what I'm seeing with my eyes is extremely rugged, and it doesn't quite translate or transfer over to the camera. But trust me, this is a tough place to be. Oh, look, more rocks and another canyon. It's kind of big. Hopefully this is the last one, but probably not. Just got to figure out a way across this. Okay, it's not quite a canyon, it's like a little ravine. And my feet aren't as tired this time as they were the first time, because these Zero shoes are awesome. I actually really like them. They're my new favorite shoe. Well, that's a little steep. You almost fell. All right, I got to put the camera down to get across this one. There it is. That's the location, almost there. Sun is just about down. We're taking a little break. It's a lot of work hiking in this far with a pack and everything you need to get in and out. It's very quiet here. Well, we made it here, but I'm gonna wait till morning when I go over there and start filming locations. It's getting dark, although it doesn't look like that on the camera. It's getting pretty dark here. And I wanna wait till sunrise when we can see better. Besides that, I'm pretty tired. Sun's starting to come up. This is where we slept. Right here in a dry stream bed. Right next to the location. So the shoe was found here, and its exact spot was found right here. It was actually sitting right here, and I'm going to mark that spot. It was sitting right here. Mark that spot. Save. We're good. I have the exact spot where the shoe was sitting. Right there. And the fact that the shoe was here, which is uphill from where their remains were found down there, highly suggests scavenger activity. Wasn't sure what to think about that, but last night, as we were sleeping, we heard coyotes, or a coyote, making noise over there. So we know there's scavengers here, and my guess is most likely it was coyotes. Sun's coming up. Walking over to the area where they were found. It's pretty cold this morning. This is what it looks like today. think this is where the wine bottle was found, but I don't see that rock that was there to identify it. So if Cornelia's remains were found throughout here, and the wine bottle was found right here, that suggests to me that that wine bottle was probably filled with water and they brought it with them. And it probably helped them, it probably sustained them at least for a little while. Nobody knows how long they were out here or how long they lasted. Nobody knows exactly when they left the van. Nobody knows how long it took them to get here. All we know is where the van was found and where their remains were found, which was Cornelia's were found here, and Egbert's found right over here. We do know they passed away at some point. We don't know who went first, probably little Max, and why they were separated. Did they go at night? Did they go during the day? Nobody really knows. All we know is that this is where their remains were found, and somehow they got to here from the van, and they had to go over some extremely rugged terrain, and I know that from experience. There's nothing easy out here. Let's get a closer look at this cliff here, this little 30-foot cliff. Well, it's almost 8 a.m. It's about 7:55, and we're getting ready, put our packs on and leave this area and head back across this very unforgiving desert. You ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Okay, let's go. Start walking. We are officially heading out. And on the way out, we come across this. It's pretty steep. Gotta figure out we just cut through here. Right here. I'm going up this way. I almost fell. Donkeys make these really nice trails. Climbing out. Just came from way over there. You gotta bring chapstick out here, otherwise your lips will dry up and fall off quick. This is slippery. Well, we just came from all the way over there, across this, down the face of this, very steep, back to our original, was going to be our campsite, but we had plenty of sunlight to keep going. And we stashed 4 gallons of water here to lighten our load. And I still have most of a gallon left in my pack, so it's clear to me that under these circumstances, in this weather, like this, we could have easily have done this with 2 gallons of water, as long as we drank a liter before we left and had a a full bottle like this with us when we left. 2 gallons is probably perfect. Last time I came out here, the shoes that I was wearing really damaged my feet, so I did some research and found shoes that were supposed to be comfortable for your feet. And I found these shoes called Zero shoes. I decided I'd put them to the test today, and I can tell you, not only did they pass the test, but I absolutely love these shoes. My feet are happy. We are almost out of the area that I have nicknamed Mars. Just over the ridge here, we'll be down in the riverbed. This is some difficult walking through here. No trail, just millions and millions of rocks. I've owned my truck for well over a year, and I've never been more happy to see it than I am right now. This thing is like a spacecraft going to lift us off from the planet Death Valley and take us home. The hike is finished. I will never do that again, ever. What'd you think of it, son?
I'll do it again.
You would do it again?
Not anytime in the near future.
So this is the final leg of the journey, and if we can get out of here safe and back to the Blacktop Road, I feel like we're already home free. I hired my son to drive home because I am beat up. I'm going to show you the route we took on an old computer here. You can see right here, this is where I parked the vehicle. We hiked down Anvil Canyon. Get a little wider here. We made it here to where the van was. This is the van location right here. We went beyond it. And then hiked up this embankment on a donkey trail. Through this area that I called Mars. Up that canyon. We stopped here and took a break. That's where we dropped off. We were each carrying 4 gallons of water, and we dropped off 2 gallons each. And then we continued up this hill, very steep hill. Over these hills, down this little wash here, this dry wash, this canyon. Exited that wash right here. Went across this other plane that my son called Mars 2. And we made it to the location right here. So if you look at it like this, from starting point to the turnaround point here was 8 miles one way. That's about 12.8 kilometers. So round trip was 16 miles, which is about 25.6 kilometers, 25.7. So we made it in here in one day, spent the night, and then hiked out the next day. Took about 7 hours to get in on day one, and it took about 4.5, 5 hours to get out. But that is the route we took. Hi folks, so if you're watching this, that means you probably made it to the end of the video. It's the longest YouTube video I've ever made. I wasn't sure how long it would be, but it turned out to be what it is. And if you made it all the way through, thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. But I want to leave this little message at the end because I want to talk about 2 things. First thing I want to talk about is some criticism that people have thrown my way in the comments about me monetizing my channel. I want to clear that up. The fact of the matter is, if I do not monetize my channel, YouTube is going to play commercials on my content anyway. So I figured I may as well get a piece of the pie since I'm the one putting in all the effort and doing all the work to make the videos. Number two, a lot of people have been asking me if there is some way that they can help support the channel. I don't have a Patreon. I don't want a Patreon. So I thought about it. And what I've come up with is this. I want you to treat my channel like you're going to a restaurant and I am your waiter. If you like my service, then you can tip me $1 through PayPal or Venmo. I put the links in the description below. And if you're feeling generous, then you can tip me $2. And just know that any tips I receive are going to be used for future videos. But that being said, it's the end of the message, finally the end of the video. Once again, thank you for watching, and Haggerty, signing off.